opened pretty strong, actually.
We opened strong, but we just didn't. We just looked gassed. You know, we were really struggling. Just the whole, back to altitude. And I thought that really. They played a game. Colorado was in Florida, and then they played a game on Tuesday. And I thought, why would you do that? It wasn't a very good team, but it was still, well, that's why. So you remember what it's like to run up and down the floor at 7,000 feet, and then it just took us a while to kind of catch our breath. And then we were in foul trouble. That didn't help in that second quarter, because the second quarter is where all the damage was done.
You weren't in the same weight class, in terms of size and.
Oh, we were 155 pounders wrestling 245. What is it? I don't know what the weight classes are for wrestling, but it was something like that. I think that we're used to being undersized, and we handle that. That doesn't tend to faze us too much because it's just kind of that's who we are, and we're sort of used to it. I thought what got us more was just flat out they were so much more experienced. And you're talking about 4th and 5th and 6th year seniors out there, a team that's been playing together for a long time, and we often had 3 and 4 freshmen on the floor. And so the big message at the half was we need to compete. We just need to compete. And I thought Taylor Britt did a great job coming out and competing. I thought Dasha McMillan competed the whole game. She was just in foul trouble in that first half. And for her to go out there and work like that against that kind of size it's just there's not too many people that have that kind of fortitude, shall we say. And they got us some. They certainly went to those big kids, and a lot of times it was because I was probably more discouraged by how many times we lost number 3, by how many times we lost Frida. That shouldn't have happened, but that's where I thought our inexperience kind of showed up. As much as we pounded away on know where she is, it's just a new experience for a lot of our players. And then we keep every time we play that 2-2-1, we learn something new about it. And this time, this was an opponent that chose to dribble through it. And we really haven't faced anybody trying to do that. And so now that's an automatic trap situation when somebody tries to dribble through it. And we got a couple of traps on, but we should have been trapping right from the get-go. But that's what you learn because everybody attacks it differently. Some people attack it with a pass, some people attack it with a press break. These guys just attacked it with a dribble. And they were skilled enough to get past us and quick enough. And so so now we have to say, okay, now if somebody's going to do that, how do we handle it?
I thought it was, you were pressing with 8 seconds left. Is it just because why not? You've got this opportunity to play against.
It's kind of like competing is important. If we had the lead, no, we wouldn't have pressed with 8 seconds left, or we wouldn't have shot the ball. But I always feel like when you're behind, everything's fair game, and you shouldn't, and the other guy should never be upset because you're behind, and so, I appreciated that they did put subs in, and we did a little bit, but we kept a lot more starters on the floor. But I think that we love playing them. There's going to be a time we beat them, and we feel it coming. We feel it.
Yeah, and I wasn't referring to like a sportsmanship thing. I just thought it was interesting. You had this opponent in the gym. You were going to take every opportunity to work on your things while
exactly
you had them.
against quality athletes and quality basketball team. You can see how long that team has been playing together. They literally read each other's minds. Where people are on the floor and where the ball is going to go, and we had to scramble like crazy to keep up with it. So I hope they do great. I think this is definitely a peak year for them, and I hope they do great.
Having Taylor Britt go through this role and then play like this, how much is that going to help long term? Because obviously Joe comes back and I assume takes over the 1. So then you've got, if you need to spell Joe, you've got someone who has experience, or you can move her over and she's she's seen the floor a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor's just a good basketball player. We've asked her to be our point guard 'cause she's our best ball handler, our best passer, our best in transition. She does a great job getting the ball up the floor in transition. And and it's her first year of having to be that accountable and that dependable. And she's gotten better every time out. And so I'm really happy with her progress. I feel like, having Joe is going to be just more good stuff. But I don't think it's going to necessarily mean, Taylor goes to the bench or anything like that. I think we will definitely find a way to play people that can help us win, and be that Joe or Taylor or whomever. I mean, we really hope to get Emily Adams back too and just give us a little more. Just would have been nice to have, those big girls tried to throw us around, and we have to learn how to sell it better. We're not very good at selling stuff, and poor Keely is just, this is all brand new to her, and those people were on her, and they didn't care what else was going on the floor. But they could afford to do that because we don't have a post game. Whereas we can't stick somebody like that on 3 because they're going to have her on the weak side of the floor, and then we don't have any backside help, and so it's just something that Keely has to learn how to deal with. And I also think that we're really challenging Madison Smith to shoot the ball. If they're going to leave you that open, you got to be burying some of those. And she's capable of doing that. And it's just a matter of kind of not being so, so into that drive. And she got some early, so I can understand why she kept looking for it. But that's a lot of tall timber in there. You just shoot the ball.
Did you want something?
Yeah, I do. Coach, that's the 7th ranked team in the country, and they came in here. I thought I saw respect from them because they, like you said, Keely Halloran doesn't. Anybody else could have come in here and not known anything about you, but they knew a scout and they knew your team and they were ready to play. What do you think? I think that's a good thing, right?
Thank you. That makes me feel a little bit better. No, I believe. Well, part of that is their coaching staff. I mean, I've known JR, I've known Shelly Sheets, I've known those guys, Toriano. We've known them for so long, and we really like each other. And I thanked them for keeping us on the schedule and being willing to come in here and play us. And it's funny because they thanked us for staying, for continuing to play them. There's some other schools in the state that won't play them, and it's just too good of a thing. I mean, look at the great crowd we had, the enthusiasm that was in the gym. It's a wonderful thing, and I think we need to absolutely keep it going. And I thought they were very, very, very respectful. Other than 22 holding the 3 there at the end. But, hey, maybe that's her first 3. I don't know.
Might have something to do with her dad. I don't know. But,
is that who that was?
Yes.
Okay, that explains it. That explains it. Okay. Well,
I saw you over there.
Yeah, it's got you got a 20-point lead. Come on, But it was fine. It was fine. They were all those kids were very respectful, and I just wish them nothing but the best.
Final question I have kind of on that juxtaposition. You'll be in kind of the CU position on Tuesday because you'll be playing UCCS, an RMAC team that comes in here. Can you use this and show your team, hey, look, CU didn't take you for granted. You better not take them.
That's a great point. You just gave me my speech for tomorrow, so I certainly will now that you've brought that to my attention. No, I do think that UCCS has had some good teams. We've had some tough games. And I think that's also part of it. We've given Colorado fits the last 2 years. And so they weren't going to come in here not prepared. So, but yeah, I do hope that that we keep, I feel like other than Idaho State, and that was the 3rd game in 3 days, sometimes those things happen. I feel like we've gotten better every game. And if we, particularly playing these, this level of athlete and that much size and everything, UNLV's like that. And if this helps us get ready for UNLV, it's worth it.
Awesome.
Are they, as of now, on the schedule for next year, or I don't know.
Oh, no, yeah, we'll go back there next year. We'll keep it going. Good, they're good folks, and like I say, we just appreciate them.
What do you take from an opportunity, to play a top 10 team like that? Like what?
It was a lot of excitement going in. We knew we were going against, one of the top teams in the nation. And all week we were just preparing for it. And it didn't end the way we wanted, but I will say we did compete toward the end, of course. We competed well. And I think we're going to take what we learned here in our future games.
Yeah, I mean, because you can't replicate the physicality.
No, you can't.
I mean,
no, those are some big gals.
was it encouraging to see? I mean, not only the late run you guys made, but also that you still forced, I think, 21 turnovers. The things you guys make your identity around still did come through even against a team like that.
Yes, we were just talking about that in the locker room actually. We put in a new press this year, 21, and we've been working out the kinks, and we're glad to see that it's working against some real competition. You know what I mean? And they broke it a bit toward the end, so we still have to work out some kinks, but we're just happy for the future in the conference. We think we can compete well.
I did think it was interesting. It was like 8 seconds left there inbounding. You guys are still pressing.
Yeah.
You were on the bench at that point, but still, is it one of those where it's like, hey, we've got this talented opponent here. We're going to take every bit of advantage of it.
Exactly. Why not, Why not? We put in some young players, and they were competing well, and we're going to need them in the future. So, why not keep going?
It's cool for you to have your, best career game.
Yes, it was
a
really good experience. My teammates were just getting it to me at the right time, and I've been working on my shot because in Hawaii it was pretty bad. But I'm glad to see the work paid off.
And what is how are you viewing this stretch of time with Joe out? Is this how do you kind of approach it?
I'm just glad to be able to play with the teammates I have now. Hopefully Joe can get in before conference, so we can have a bit more experience on the floor, which we're missing dearly. But I've been approaching it, just taking it day by day, trying to figure out, what I need to be working on, what my team needs from me, and, just doing what I need to do.
So when she comes back, what would you envision your role being? Would you go to a 2? Would you play together at some,
The past couple years, it was a bit of both. I played the 2 a lot. This year, I was hoping to play the 2 to have, a bit more of a scorer's mentality, so I can have more games like this. But being at the 1 is pretty good. I like distributing, and I like getting my teammates the ball. I think it'd be a bit of both when she comes back.
And do you think this is only going to make the team better that you're getting all this time?
Of course. We need more experience, and Joe brings that.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying you playing now is only going to make the team better because whichever role you go in, if you spell her at the 1, you've had all this time now. Yeah. Does that just kind of increase the overall ability and experience of the team?
I think so, yeah. I think having us both on the floor or even just one at a time will be good because we both can keep the pressure on and keep pushing the ball. And it'd be good to have 2 point guards on the team who have good vision. And I think it would be good for our shooters on the team like Keely. She could just be ready to spot up and shoot.
All right.
I got a quick one for you, Taylor. It didn't look to me like that was the 7th-ranked team in the country. It didn't look to me like they took you lightly. Mm-hmm. What do you think that says for your basketball team?
I actually really appreciate the way they came out and competed. The past couple of years have been close games, and I think they, recognize that. And coming in at this altitude, they always struggle. So I think they really came in and did not take us for granted, and I really appreciated that. And the way we competed with them just shows, we're ready. Mm-hmm.
Can you use this? Because you got UCCS coming in here on Tuesday, so it's kind of like you now are in the position that they're in. Yeah. Can you use it to say to yourselves, we've got to take them seriously?
Exactly. Our coach just brought that up. She was saying the next 3 games we cannot take lightly. And in the past, we have been playing to our competition, how they play. And I feel like we need to come out and just, put our foot down and just win the game.